So I want you to understand that people actually make that depraved choice to be a savage. Okay, it's a pretty common ideology. It's talked about in like pop culture and stuff. So it's not like these people are confused and they have some kind of goal of fellowship. Okay, they actually make that horrible decision to be selfish, like to not care about people. And it's like there's an emptiness there. Okay, there's this stubbornness, this emptiness, like you cannot relate to this person. There is no basis of morality within this person. Okay, so like you're it happens a lot. And they're just this dangerous, savage person, this animal, this living being that just doesn't understand the most fundamental moral principle, which is just love and fellowship. It's not self-love, it's outward love, okay? And they'll laugh, they'll bark and snarl, they'll get all mad, they'll smile, they'll cry, but they're just empty. They're making that depraved decision, okay? And it's not like they can't help it, okay? They are actively and consistently making the decision to be selfish. And most of the time they're manipulative about it, okay? They're not just honest and straightforward saying that they're a selfish person, that don't care about people, and they'll commit crimes and stuff and be violent and all that. Okay, they're usually manipulating. So they maintain this stubbornness, this consistent decision to be selfish, and it's paired with their manipulative tactics, and it's just this like empty, lying life form that is just like, and there are a lot of them. Okay, it's not just in the United States, it's all around the world. Okay, it's a common thing. You got them in positions of, political power, people with large amounts of wealth and stuff like that, and these people are just absolute savages. Just empty, like no moral foundation. Okay, being selfish is not a moral foundation, okay? Caring about your own survival is not a moral foundation, okay? The foundation begins when you start to care about others. And you're not caring about others for yourself, for your own survival. It's actually for their survival. It's a fair treatment. It's for both of your survival. It's not just you. You're not just using them for you. Okay, it's fairness. There's sacrifice involved. Okay, you have to have that foundational idea of love and sacrifice, okay, to have any kind of morality. And these people just lack that. So when you encounter these stubborn manipulators, these selfish savages, they'll just stand there with a smile on their face, like some kind of like that horror movie that it was called Smile, or they're just like some kind of strange like zombie kind of thing. Like, it's disturbing, okay? Like, they'll try to just be there acting all content when they, when that they're not, okay, they're not experiencing love, all right? But they have the ability to make this choice, and they are making this choice to be evil, to be selfish. So that's the problem with the world. Okay, it's because they don't establish the baseline. Okay, there's a difference between having the baseline and being confused about, what other decisions actually are involved in pursuing this baseline of love and fairness. Okay, there's a difference between having the baseline of love and fairness and being confused about the details, the decisions that stem from that, the laws that stem from that basis, okay, and having like discussions about that, disagreements about that, confusions. There's a difference between that and not having the foundation at all, just being selfish, just worrying about your own survival, that kind of stuff, or just being self-destructive, and destructive towards everybody and stuff like that. So the main problem is not confusion with a common foundation. The main problem is lack of a common foundation, the foundation of love and fellowship. Okay, there are a lot of savages out there that are manipulating people about their true nature. And sometimes they reveal it for like intimidation purposes. They'll reveal their savagery. They might try to say it was a joke or something, if they don't feel like they can maintain their threat. But look, humor is a disgrace. You just have to watch out for these savages. That's the problem. Okay, it's the people in the positions of power that are savages. It's not the people that are in positions of power that, are trying to actually experience fairness and love. Because you can work from that. You can have discussions based on that. You can come together and be like, look, we both have this common cause. We understand the purpose of life. Okay, let's work it out. The problem is that's not happening. It's that there are selfish people that you can't have a reasonable discussion with because they're just going to be manipulative the whole time. Okay, that is the issue. You have to identify. I understand that they're manipulative, but you have to maintain suspicion of people that they are these kinds of savages. Okay, and you have to try to identify them. Okay, and if you do catch them, they might try to say that they were joking or something, but try to identify the savages. They are the true, they are the most dangerous thing in the world. That's the most dangerous ideology in the world. There's no room for discussion of fairness when they don't have that belief. Okay, it's the worst. They are empty morally. And it's not like there's a cure for it. You could try to intimidate them all you want with legal punishment and stuff, but they maintain that ability to choose to be a savage. All right, so you can't control them. There's no cure. All right, there are things that you can do to try to help. You could try to reason with them. You can try to scare them, but ultimately they have a choice. So that's the real problem, is the savagery. Condemn that behavior. Don't join that behavior. Okay, I know people manipulate about their true savage intentions. Once you establish a real basis of fellowship and fairness, then you can start to work from there, and you can discuss, disagreements on what should be legal, what should not be legal, based on fair survival tactics. But these savages are just going to try to be manipulative the whole time. They might be pretentious and act like they're going to offer a discussion, but they're just trying to manipulate it for their own survival, not worrying about yours, not loving you. Okay, so, that's just it. That's the whole problem. The confusion is a problem. That's something you also have to deal with and defend yourself from when they're some kind of radical or something that thinks that they're trying to help in some way, but they're really confused and not doing so. Yeah, it's a problem, but that's not the worst issue. Okay, the worst issue is the savages, because you actually have a foundation to work on with those other kinds of people, to have a discussion. With the savages, you don't. It's just straight manipulation or just straight, savagery. So create a baseline of of negotiation. Okay, understand that disagreements may happen, but don't be rebellious over every kind of disagreement. Okay, allow for room for people to be confused and wrong about things. Try to have discussions. Okay, try to work things out. And you have to defend yourself when it gets too dangerous, but the savages are the main issue here. Okay, try to work it out with the people that have a foundation of